Magandang buhay! Welcome again to our Mathematics 10 first quarter, Module 5, Lesson 2, entitled Geometric Series. So we're done already with geometric sequence and means, and this is now the last topic for geometric, which is the series. So what are our goals for today? The first one is find the sum of the given finite and infinite geometric sequence. So we're going to differentiate it and then solve word problems involving geometric sequence. Okay, let's start. So, mag-review muna tayo kasi matagal tayong hindi nakakapag-aral due to some circumstances like the typhoon and this pandemic. So let's start with the geometric sequence. So once we say geometric sequence, it is a sequence in which each term after the first term is obtained by multiplying the preceding term by a non-zero constant called common ratio. But let us pick some important terms. So the first thing is multiplying. What are we multiplying? The common ratio. So matatawag mo yung isang sequence kung meron kang common ratio. Unlike in arithmetic sequence, anong common doon? Ang common naman doon is common difference. And the operation involved there is addition in order for us to get the next term. But in here, in geometric sequence, in order for us to get the next terms, we're going to multiply. Then, the common ratio here, paano ba siya nakukuha? By dividing. Later on, we will review that. The symbol for the common ratio is small letter r. So don't forget that. And always remember as well that it should be non-zero. Bawal siyang maging zero. Okay? Why? Kasi once you're multiplying any preceding term or any preceding number, kahit fraction pa yan, decimal pa yan, pagka nag-multiply ka ng zero, nonsense. Kasi zero rin ang maging next terms. Okay? Kaya, bawal maging zero si R. Next. So, how do we get the common ratio? Let's have this example. -7, 14, -28, and then 56, and so on. So, let's try if we have a common ratio. So, once we have the common ratio, we're going to divide from right going to your left. So, we will have 14 divided by -7. The answer is -2. -28 divided by 14, that's also -2. The same with 56 divided by -28, that is also -2. Kaya nga tinawag na common ratio by the term common kasi pare-parehas ang nakuha natin. And then, bakit siya ratio? Because the operation involved is division. Okay, I hope you remember that. So, our common ratio here is -2. So, we could conclude that this sequence is a geometric sequence. So, I hope you could still remember. Next thing, in geometric sequence, we need to remember some of the formulas. Okay, this is the main formula for geometric sequence. That is a sub n is equal to a sub 1 times r, that's the common ratio, raised to n minus 1. So, be careful with the exponents. So let's recall the symbols. A sub n, that is what we call the last term or the nth term. And at a sub 1, we all know that that is the first term. R is the common ratio. And n, that is the number of terms. So please remember that. And in order for us to compare the two kinds of sequence that we tackled for this first quarter, the two main sequences, the arithmetic sequence and the geometric sequence. So the main concept here is they have both has a common. So for arithmetic, we have the common difference whose symbol is small letter d, and the geometric sequence, that is the common ratio, having a symbol of small letter r. And those are the formula needed. Okay? So please don't forget that part. That is very important. You can use that to the next years to come of your education or even in your life. Then, Yung last topic natin is about the geometric means. This will be used if and only if there exists the middlemost missing term. So, pagka sinabing means, terms in between. So, wag nating kakalimutan yan. Kasi, pag sinabi naman nating series, tulad ng nabanggit ko nung tayo nag-aaral ng arithmetic series, basta ma-encounter ninyo yung term na series, we are pertaining to the sum of the terms of a geometric sequence. Okay po? So, hindi lang basta sum, 'di ba? Meron din tayong iba pa. Okay? So, ano pa yung mga terms related to sum? Pagka nakakita tayo ng term na total. Okay? It also pertains to the series. Okay po? So, that is what we call geometric series. Okay? So, let's have the first objective. Find the sum of the finite and infinite geometric sequence. In-emphasize. Kasi, magkaiba yung proseso. Okay? Ulitin natin. Sum ang ating pinag-uusapan. At dalawang klase. We have the finite and we have the infinite. O, recall lang tayo ng konti. Pag sinabi nating finite, what does it mean? Okay, very good. So once we say finite, we have definite number of terms. Sa Tagalog, nabibilang at may katapusan. Okay? So, it has a limit. It has a last term. Okay? And then once we say infinite, okay, no definite, syempre kabaliktaran lang. No definite number of terms. Or it has no end. At ang lagi natin ginagamit dyan ng palatandaan, madalas ay yung tatlong dots or what we call the ellipsis. Okay? I hope you could still remember. So, let's start. Let's have first the finite geometric series. Okay? So, at meron din siyang iba't ibang cases. Madali nyo lang naman din siyang ma-visualize through the examples. Mukha lang siyang madami. Okay? So, the first one, ito yung pinaka-basic. S sub n is equal to a sub 1 times the quantity 1 minus r raised to n. Don't forget that the exponent n ay na kay r. Okay? Over 1 minus r. At may condition, the ratio should not be equal to 1. Later on, encounter natin bakit. Okay? And the number of terms is finite. Then the next one is, finite pa din, pero what if the value of r is equal to 1? Okay? So, madali lang ang gagawin natin. So, that is simply a sub 1 times n. And then, paano naman pagka odd number of terms at ang ating common ratio ay negative 1? So, as simple as, kung ano ang first term, yun na yung sum. Okay, later on, mabibigyan tayo ng example. And then, pagka even naman at ang common ratio ay negative 1, the answer is always 0. So, for us to learn deeper, let's have examples. The first one is, find the sum of the first 10 terms of the sequence 2, 4, 8, 16. Okay? So, sinabi sequence lang. Hindi naman sinabi kung geometric sequence ba yan. So, ang importante, kunin natin si common ratio. Okay? So, let's have 4 divided by 2. The answer is 2. And then, 8 divided by 4. So, that is also 2. And 16 divided by 8. So, that is also 2. So, we will have a common ratio of 2. Okay? So, dahil ang common ratio natin ay 2, sige, balikan natin. Alin dyan ang dapat natin gamitin? Ang common ratio ba natin ay not equal to 1, equal to 1, negative 1? Okay, very good. So, ang gagamitin natin is yung first formula. Okay, balik tayo. So, S sub n is equal to a sub 1 times the quantity 1 minus r raised to n. Be careful on writing it. And then 1 minus r. Madali siyang tandaan kasi kung ano yung nasa loob ng parenthesis, yun din yung nasa denominator. Ang kaibahan lang, yung nasa numerator, meron kang n or yung number of terms. But what is our n? Ano ang value ng n natin? So, ang sabi, first 10 terms. Okay? N is equal to 10. Kaya siya naging finite. Kasi definite. Hanggang 10 terms lang. Okay? And then, what is our first term? Our first term is 2. Okay? So, let us now substitute. So, S sub 10 is equal to, what's our first term? We have the 2. And then 1 minus, the ratio is 2. And then, the number of terms is 10. Over 1 minus 2. Okay? Can you get it? Okay, now, for this case, you need a calculator. Okay, basically, a scientific calculator. Kasi, ang lalaki na po ng values natin. At dapat, dire-diretso siya. Okay? So, kung mapapansin niyo, ang uunahin muna natin is yung nasa loob ng parentheses, which is the 2 raised to 10. Okay? So, what is now the value of 2 raised to 10? Okay? Now, using your calculator, ibig sabihin niya, hindi yan 2 times 10, kundi the exponent is 10. You have, meron kang 10 2. Okay? So, 2 raised to 10, the answer there is 1,024. So, S sub 10 is equal to 2 times 1 minus 1,024 over, and then 1 minus 2, the answer there is negative 1. Okay? Dahil negative 1 naman ito, madali na yan. So, ibig sabihin lang yan, pwede nang maging negative 2. Kasi 2 divided by negative 1 is negative 2. Okay? Huwag malilito. Para madali nating ma-simplify. And then 1 minus 1,024. That is automatically. Bawasan mo lang ng isa at mas malaki lagi itong nasa kanan. Kaya ka magkakaroon ng negative lagi dyan. So, 1,023. Okay? So, what is now the value of our S sub 10? So, what is 1,023 times negative 2? The answer there, doble lang daw. So, negative times negative, the answer is positive. So, that is 2,046. Okay? Nagets po ba? Okay. Pagka imamana-mana mo yan, times 2 ka lang ng times 2 hanggang sa makasampung terms ka. Tapos, i-add mo lahat ng terms. Okay po. So, that is 2, 4, 8, 16. Times 2 ka. 32. Times 2 again, 64. Okay? Times 2 of the 64, that is 128. The crucial thing here is, pagka nagkamali ka ng isa, mali na lahat. Okay? And then, times 2 mo ulit, the answer is 256. Ilan na tayo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. O, kulang pa ng dalawa. 256 times 2, the answer there is 512. And then, times 2 again, my dear. The answer there is 1,024. So, pagka inad mo to lahat, ang sagot daw ay 2,046. Okay? I hope that's clear with you. Next example. Find the sum of the first 8 terms of 4 plus 4 plus 4 and so on. Okay po. Hindi porket nakakita ka ng ellipsis, infinite na. Okay? Dahil sinabi dito, first 8 terms. So, ibig sabihin, may hangganan tayo. Okay? The 8 here pertains to the number of terms. So, n is equal to 8. But, the condition here is, anong common ratio? Okay? So, ang terms natin ay 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay? Ilan daw? 8. So, ilan na to? Magdadagdag pa tayo. Wala na ba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So, i-add mo yan. Ngayon, kung mapapansin mo, pare-parehas lang naman siya, di ba? Kaya, dun pumapasok yung second condition na if the value of r is equal to 1, or in short, all the terms are similar, ang gagawin mo lang dyan, so S sub n is equal to A sub 1 times n. Okay? So, magiging S sub 8 is equal to, ano ba yung umuulit? Si number 4. Ilang ba siya? Ilan beses meron dyan? Ilang terms meron? Okay. 8. Okay? As simple as that. So, we will have 4 times 8. The answer there is 32. Which is true. Na pagka inad mo to lahat, okay, yung 8 yan, ang sagot daw ay 32. Nagets po? I hope that's clear with you. Okay. Next example. Find the sum of 2, -2, 2, -2, and 2. Okay. Obviously, ang common ratio natin saan ay -1. Okay. Pero ilan ang terms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 is an odd number. Okay? Mano-mano tayo. 2 plus -2 plus 2 plus -2 plus 2. Okay? So, kung mapapansin ninyo, kung i-add natin to, what's the answer? The answer there is 0. Ito, 0 din. Sinong natira? Si 2, which is also our first term. Okay? So, if we have the odd number of terms and whose common ratio is -1, the condition here is the answer is always the first term. Kasi may maiiwan ka eh. May maiiwan kang isa. Kasi nga odd number. May wala kang kapartner. Okay? So, ang sagot po dito ay S sub 5 is equal to 2. Diba? Madali lang. Okay. Next example. Paano naman pagka dinagdagan pa natin ng -2? So, kung i-add natin ito, 0. Okay? Kung i-add natin din ito, 0. Kung i-add din natin ito, the answer is also 0. Ilang terms ba? A sub 1, A sub 2, A sub 3, A sub 4, A sub 5, A sub 6. And 6 here is an even number. So the condition here is, if we have even number of terms and our common ratio is -1, the answer is always 0. Kasi even eh, may magkakapartner na nag-end up tayo lagi kay 0. Bakit 0? Kasi unlike terms eh. Yung isa positive, yung isa negative. Eh di ba commonly, 0 na ang sagot doon? So, the answer here is S sub 6 is equal to 0. Clear? So, I hope that's clear with every one of us. Tandaan lang natin yung pinaka-rule natin. Okay po? So, balikan lang natin siya. Yan. So, please be very careful on using the formula. Ang titingnan ulit? Ang importante dito ay common ratio. Kung siya ba ay not equal to 1, kung equal to 1, or -1. At laging tatandaan, dapat yan ay finite. Tapos, dito sa -1, dapat either odd or even lang. Okay? I hope that's clear with you. So, we're done with finite. Let's now proceed to infinite geometric series. So, for the infinite geometric series, di ba, katulad ng pinag-usapan natin kanina, infinite. It has no end. Walang katapusan. So, alin dito, di ba ito yung formula kanina sa case number 1 wherein r is not equal to 1 ng finite geometric series. Anong langan dapat nating tanggalin dyan? Okay. Siyempre, ang nagsasabi na finite yan is yung value ng n. Kasi may number of terms ka eh. So, by this, hindi natin kailangan yan. Okay? So, ganun lang kasimple. Tatanggalin mo lang yun. Yan na ang formula ng infinite geometric series. Yan lang at wala nang iba. So, the formula for infinite geometric series is S sub n is equal to A sub 1 over 1 minus R. Okay po? So, take note of it kasi meron tayong tawag dito, denominator na 1 minus R. So, meron tayong restriction. Okay? May rules tayong dapat tandaan. Ano-ano yon? So, the first one here is, so let us erase this first. Okay. So, we need to remember that in order for us to use this formula, the value of R, the common ratio, should be on this notation. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng may dalawang bar? Absolute value of R. Absolute value of the common ratio should be less than 1. Okay? So, ano ba ang ibig sabihin nun? Ayan. Kuha tayo ng number line. So, andito si 0, andito si negative 1, andito si positive 1. So, di ba, the common ratio, the absolute value. Di ba pag sinabi nating absolute value of R, we are pertaining to positive value of R and the negative value of R. Okay? At dapat daw, yan ay less than 1. Ano ba ibig sabihin nito? The positive value of R should be less than 1. Ibig sabihin, mas mababa sa 1. So, ibig sabihin, nandito yun. Okay? At ito rin naman, negative. Pwede ring maging negative, pero less than 1. Okay? So, nandito siya. Nagigets po ba? So, it is just in between negative 1 and 1. Tapos, hindi dapat negative 1, hindi rin 0, hindi rin dapat 1. So, ano ang pag-uusapan natin? We're pertaining to fractions. Okay, commonly, magagamit mo lang yan kung ang common ratio mo ay fractions or decimals. Okay, I hope that's clear with you. So, let's have this case. So, pagka hindi ganyan, pasok sa rules, undefined or cannot be determined. Okay? So, let's have the first example. Find the sum of 1, negative 3, 9, and then negative 27. So, wala kang specific number of terms at meron kang ellipsis. Kaya, ibig sabihin, meron tayong infinite geometric sequence dito. Okay? So, ngayon, anong common ratio? Yun muna ang una. So, negative 3 divided by 1, the answer here is negative 3. And then 9 divided by negative 3 is also negative 3. And together with this. So, our common ratio is negative 3. Less than 1 ba siya? Yun ang tanong. Okay? Pasok ba siya doon sa absolute value? Okay, eh di ba ang restriction lang natin is between negative 1 and 1. Okay po? So, ibig sabihin, we cannot get it kasi tuloy-tuloy pa rin yan eh. Okay, so wala tayong patutunguhan dyan. Kaya, ang sagot lang dyan ay there is no definite sum because R is equal to negative 3. Okay. Kasi, bina-violate niya yung rule na absolute value of R should be less than 1. Okay? So, kasi kung isa-substitute mo yan dito, di magiging negative 3. Okay po? Eh, ano ba absolute value negative 3? Di ba positive 3? Okay? Eh, di ba mali ito? So, ibig sabihin, hindi pwede. Kaya, no definite sum. Or sa ibang libro, ang tawag saan ay undefined. Clear po? Okay. Thank you so much. Next, example number 2. Find the sum. 8, 4, 2. Okay, so we have 8, 4, 2, and so on. So, ano muna ang ating common ratio? Yun ang laging unang tanong. So, we will have 4 divided by 8. That's the answer here. Is it 2? Okay, no. So, that is 1 half. That is also the same with 2 divided by 4. So, that is 1 half. Okay po. Pasok po ba siya dito sa rule natin na ganyan? Sige, substitute natin para mas ma-visualize ninyo. So, what's the absolute value of 1 half? So, that is 1 half less than 1. Is that less than 1? Okay, very good. So, ibig sabihin, pwede natin gamitin yung formula, which is S is equal to A sub 1 over 1 minus R. As simple as that. So, our first term here is 8 over 1 minus, what is our ratio? Yeah, ratio here is 1 half. Okay, so alam ko, sasakit na naman ang ulo ninyo kasi may fraction. Pero huwag kayong mag-alala. Okay? So, gagawa natin ng paraan yan. Copy mo muna si 8. Okay? Paano tong 1 minus 1 half? Ano yung denominator ng ratio? 2. So, magiging 2 over 2 minus 1 half. Bakit naging ganun, ma'am? Eh, kasi 1 lang naman to eh. What? Ni-replace mo lang siya. So, what is 2 divided by 2? Di ba 1? Okay. So, kung ito ay 3, magiging 3 over 3. Okay? Para madali nating masimplify. Yan yung isang way on how to simplify the similar fractions. Okay? So, magiging 8 over, what is 2 minus 1? So, that is 1 half. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin dito, katulad ng tinuro ko sa inyo dati, magiging 8 times 2 over 1. Okay? Diba? Re-reciprocal lang. And then, this is a whole number. So, simplify mo lang siya. No matter what, any whole number, the denominator is 1. So, 8 times 2, the answer there is 16. So, ibig sabihin niya, kasi infinite eh. Pagka pinag-add-add mo daw yan, it is approaching to 16. Okay? So, the sum of infinity is approximately going to 16. Okay? I hope that's clear with you. So, after discussing the finite and infinite geometric series, syempre, we need to learn about solving word problems involving geometric sequence. One basic example here is a pendulum. So, kung hindi pa kayo nakakita ng pendulum, yun yung parang bola na may tali, tapos siniswing mo siya. Parang katulad ng pictured on your right. Okay? So, let's have this first example. A pendulum swings 70% of its previous swing. If its first swing is 24 centimeters long, how long will be its ninth swing? Okay? So, ano ibig sabihin yan? Ninth swing. So, pangsyam. Okay? So, it only means that we are pertaining to, at sabi rin dito ay how long. Okay? Ninth swing, we are pertaining here to the ninth term. So, n here is equal to 9. So, nag-start ka ngayon dito sa may gitna. Siyempre, sinway mo siya, kinuha mo siya, pag ganun. So, ang una mo dito ay 24 centimeters long. Tapos, siyempre, babalik siya ng kusa. 70% daw ng 24 centimeters. Hanggang sa 70% na, hanggang sa umabot ka ng pang ninth swing. Ang tanong, gaano daw kahaba yung ninth swing na yun? Okay? So, anong role dito ni 70%? Si 70%, that is your common ratio. Okay? Siyempre, nag-umpisa kay 24 centimeters, so that is your A sub 1. Okay? So, right now, we are not pertaining to series. Why? Kasi ang question ay how long. Okay? So, we are now pertaining to geometric sequence. Okay? So, it is quite similar to the items that you're going to answer on your module. Okay? So, let's recall the formula for geometric sequence. A sub n is equal to a sub 1 times r raised to n minus 1. Recall ulit natin, our a sub 1 is 24. Our common ratio here is 70%. Ano ba siya sa decimal? That is 0.70. Paano naging ganon? Sa may percentage, move ka ng dalawa lang on your, going to your left. Okay, kaya siya naging 0.70. And then our n here is 9. Okay? Then substitute. So a sub 9 is equal to 24. Our common ratio here is 0.70. Use now the decimal. And then our n is 9. And then minus 1. Clear? Okay, and then simplify the things that you can. So that is 9 minus 1. So that is 8. And then the whole thing here is, you're just going to type in your scientific calculator. Kung wala, meron namang downloadable. Okay po. So, kasi mahirap yan, mano-mano, 0.70 raised to 8. Or, kung may ordinary calculator lang kayo, basta tama yung pagbibilang nyo, 8 0.70, i-multiply ninyo. Okay? So, 24 times 0.70 raised to 8, the answer there is, ang liit na niya, 1.38 centimeters. So, ganyan na po kaliit yung ninth swing. Okay? The pendulum swings 1.38 centimeters on its ninth swing. Okay? So, I hope that's clear with you. Baguhin lang natin ng konti yung tanong, yung dulo. Ito naman, how far? Okay? Pag ang tanong ay how far the pendulum travels before it rests. So, ibig sabihin, ilan lahat? Gaano kahaba hanggang sa siya ay tumigil? Okay? So, it only means that we are now pertaining to geometric series. Pero anong klase? Is it finite or infinite? Ano sa tingin ninyo? Pendulum yan. Mabibilang mo ba kung ilang swing pa yan? Okay, so that is now infinite geometric series. Okay? So, katulad ng ginawa natin, 24 here is our a sub 1, and then the 70% here pertains to our common ratio. Okay? So, let us now solve. So, dahil ang pinag-uusapan natin ay infinite geometric series, okay? Gagamitin nating formula is S is equal to A sub 1 over 1 minus R. Ma'am, bakit mo siya magagamit saan? Balikan natin yung given. A sub 1 is equal to 24. At ang ratio natin is 70%. Or, that is 0.70. Eh, di ba? Yan ang rule natin. So, kung i-substitute natin yan, the absolute value of 0.70 is 0.70 as well. Is that less than 1? Yes, kasi yan ay 7 over 10 eh. Okay, so pasok siya. Magagamit natin yung formula. And then, wala tayong value ng n kasi infinite. Okay? So, substitute lang natin. As simple as that. So, we will have 24 over 1 minus, gamitin mo na si 0.70. Okay po? So, 24 over, what is 1 minus 0.70? So, that is 3 over 10 or 0.3. And then, you're just going to divide it. 24 divided by 0.3. The answer there is 80. So, ibig sabihin, the sum is approaching to 80 centimeters long. Okay? So, sagutin natin ng tama. The pendulum travels 80 centimeters before it rests. Okay? Is that clear with you? So, kung meron kayong questions, you can communicate with me online or you can message me if you want to. So math may be difficult for most of us, but do not give up. Let us continue to practice and persevere. That's all for today. And mat-isip ng mabuti, mas tanong, pag di maunawaan, mas usap tayo. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a good day.